Thrashing. While chasing 345.
We are live.
Oh.
Why did I even bother to change my prediction? I had said Pakistan at the start. Looking at it, I thought Sri Lanka could have managed to defend 345. But no. Today was the day when Mohammad Riswan and Abdullah Shafiq, outstanding knocks, and they didn't play slam bang cricket, by the way.
No, they didn't.
Pakistan have won by 6 wickets. It is a record chase in the history of the World Cup. The previous highest was 329, which Ireland made against England in Bangalore. 2011. 12 years later, Pakistan in
India
Hyderabad have made 348. And because of that, Pakistan have made it 8-0.
In World Cup history?
Yes, against Sri Lanka. So the golden chance that Sri Lanka had in breaking the jinx
is gone.
Prolonged for another 4 years. Because I don't see Sri Lanka making it to the playoffs. I see Pakistan kind of in that tussle for the 4th position. Kind of. But man, Pakistan doing Pakistan things. I think they themselves must be surprised with the way. Okay, did we really chase down 348 without having to take that much of a risk?
Yes, they did.
4 centuries today. First time ever it's happened in the history of World Cups. First time ever. 2 from Sri Lanka, Sadira Samaravikram and Kusal Mendes. Here, Riswan and Abdullah Shafiq. That too, Riswan batting on one leg because of the cramps.
And of course, inside edging the ball onto his own leg a couple of times.
Yes, but more than Riswan, Abdullah Shafiq.
Oh, knock.
Oh man, that knock. And from overs 21 to 40, when Pakistan were just scoring at, from 1 to 20, they're scoring at about 6 per over. They then ramped it up to 7.
And consistently so. Consistently so for 20 odd overs, they ended up scoring at the exact run rate that they needed to ensure that they stayed in the game come the death overs.
And boy, they were hardly troubled. Winning by 10 balls to spare in a chase of 345. Which meant that Sri Lanka, last 8 overs, 44 runs. They were actually 20 runs short, if you look at it in hindsight. So, it's good if you're a Pakistan fan. It's awesome if you're a Pakistan fan.
It's good if you're an India fan as well.
Of course, because then this adds a lot more spice, masala, whatever you want to call it, for that India versus Pakistan encounter that is going to be there on October 14th.
Saturday.
And criticism that I was saying in particular, I take full credit of that criticism. Test batters, well. Abdullah Shafiq dispelled it. And Riswan we knew would do it, but look at the others. 12 of 12, 10 of 15, 31 of 30. They kind of proved me right. But Shafiq and Riswan, freakish partnership. Freakish partnership indeed. And if you remove Mr. Extras, Sri Lanka would very well have had a chance. 25 wides. That too 20 alone from Pathirana, who had an economy rate of 10.
Yeah, he didn't bowl his full quota. They were saving his... I guess for the last it would have made no sense.
It made no sense because now in 19 overs, 185 runs for Pathirana. 19 overs. He got for 95 against South Africa, now 90 here. Brilliant. And Sri Lanka will be thinking, what hit them? What really hit them? Because yet again, South Africa match and now this match, they have conceded totals just for fun. 439. Now 2 records have gone against them in 2 matches of this World Cup. One, the highest ever total made in World Cup history comes against Sri Lanka. South Africa made it. The highest successful chase in World Cup history
now against Sri Lanka
is achieved against Sri Lanka. And the first team 0-8 in head-to-heads.
They could very well be joined by that. So.
We tacked this on 14th. That we'll discuss it on the 14th. But boy, what an effort from Pakistan.
Phenomenal.
How's Riswan feeling? I want to know because there's a lot of chatter on social media that he pulled a hamstring but then was running doubles
like a hare.
and running very fast. So I don't know. I want to know from everyone that Does it happen usually that you get a hamstring and then you become really fit after that? I'm sure he must have taken some
He must
water
have taken a lot of
some sort of salt
yes,
or whatever.
yes, he
No,
did.
but usually what happens, we've seen badly whenever. I mean, so many Indian players. Remember the Brisbane Test match. So hamstring injuries, when you pull it, usually takes a long time. But clearly, I mean, whatever was done in terms of healing that, whether it was their medical staff or they gave him some nice Gatorade or whatever salts, it's really worked. But I was just seeing on social media plenty of chatter that at one stage looked like he was down and out, and then started running so fast, and which is a very rare sight in international cricket, that somebody has a hamstring injury and that it improves while going forward. But
it must have just been a cramp.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't a hamstring injury. He cramped.
No, as in cramp. Yeah, those cramps that you gave in the hamstring when you pull it or whatever.
I think his ability to recover quicker is faster than John Cena's recovery also. When John Cena suffers an injury, the level of improvement
Who is
next.
John Cena?
That wrestler, WWE wrestler, and 16 time you can't see me. That guy, everybody says his recovery is much better.
Actually, one time he had a very bad pectoral tear. Was supposed to recover in 9 months. And this is real, by the way, not this thing.
Everything in WWE is made up.
No.
This was
is
a legit
medical injury. Medical injury.
That
Ruled
also
out
they
for
must
9
have
months.
faked it. Yeah, they fake everything.
Medical experts
How do you know?
said.
They have like everything planned. They even planned fights and
That is planned.
say things
But
about
legit,
each other.
But no. So he underwent surgery for it. It was actual surgery. It was supposed to be a 9-month injury.
They
back
had
in
a
5.
surgery. Then they peddled something. Minor injury, peddle it. No, major. This.
No, but actually, if you know how it works, you get to know the real sources. You don't fall for it.
Yeah.
I don't.
So, but
I don't
actually,
follow.
I think with Rizwan, not the first time I've seen this happen with him. Almost every game he seems to be limping. Whether it's because he's keeping or because he leaps, he has that energizer money energy in him.
Yeah.
He always has that. I don't recall a single match where I'm looking at this guy thinking he's going to break down now. And he's constantly running. I don't get it.
Yep.
But what a knock. We did point that Mohammad Rizwan, and even though Siddharth called out Abdullah Shafiq and Shakil as test players and this and that, they are the ones that really stood up for Pakistan. And see, whatever said and done, we said this at the start. If you go see a preview show, I think the first thing that we said was, when you saw the 11, that finally some better senses prevailed in the Pakistani camp, where they've decided to drop Fakhar Zaman and then decided to bring in an Abdullah Shafiq. So, I mean, that's the first thing that you saw, the first thing that you noticed, because of his long string of unsuccessful innings. And then that's why you sometimes wonder whether that criticism that comes Babar Azam's way about him sticking with his friends. It's always good to have stability. It's always good that a captain sticks by a player. But then there is a line that you have to draw, right? There is a point where you have to say no further. I have to take a call for the sake of the team. Maybe that line was reached now. Maybe for some of us it was reached much earlier. For Babar, he finally reached that stage now where he decided. But see how much of a difference it's made.
Yep.
His 100, you take out one of Abdullah Shafiq or Mohammad Rizwan from this 11, and the result could have been different. So they go with that, you get that base, and from there, Rizwan you expected, because he had shown you glimpse in the Asia Cup as well as in the first game as well. So you knew that, even though there was criticism with him also reaching Asia Cup, there was some sort of criticism about Rizwan, whether that's his right position. He also sometimes bats very slowly and so on and so forth. But again, you knew that experience really counts. So fantastic batting, both by Rizwan, by Abdullah Shafiq. Maybe someday if Shafiq doesn't work, I'm sure that Shakil will do that job, because he's again a test batter. So now their batting is, and I think the one thing that people will now begin to notice about Pakistan is that, remember what we spoke, and I think all of us got it wrong in that sense, where we thought, and probably because of what we had seen earlier, and rightly so, that this was beyond their comfort zone. So it wasn't to say that some of these guys can't bat. We've seen Pakistan chase totals earlier, but when you got to this much, and remember we also discussed maybe this particular pitch is much better to bat on compared to the earlier Hyderabad pitch, which is now clearly proven to be right. We were talking about it in that mid innings because we didn't know what that does. Clearly got better to bat on. And again, then you'll go back to the toss that Lanka won and decided to bat. But I'm saying got better to bat on. But no matter how good the pitch is, we were of the opinion and unanimously that this was out of their comfort zone. But what Pakistan has shown is that if you have a good pitch, then they have the kind of batters to get to that total. So this is the biggest positive that Pakistan will take. And I think if you were, and we are all waiting for that India-Pakistan game, had Pakistan lost this, it probably would have been a no contest.
Yeah.
Now Pakistan has won this, it really sets up that India-Pakistan contest very nicely.
Especially when you consider the fact that at Ahmedabad, they're going to get exactly the same kind of pitch. It's going to be batter friendly.
It will be a batting friendly pitch.
It's going to be not offering a lot for the bowlers. And if there's one big takeaway for Pakistan and really for everyone in the world, is that you can score 350 nearly without necessarily having to play bang every single ball.
Exactly.
You bat sensibly, look at everyone's strike rate here. 2 batters maybe who are above 100 and one was Iftikhar who came and just whacked a few towards the end. But everyone was only playing sensibly. I remember telling Siddharth, I said, why are they giving away singles? What are you gaining when you need 60 or so of the last 10? You're not winning it if you don't get wickets. Because even if you contain and then they fall towards the end, you know there's an Iftikhar, you know there's a Nawaz, you know there's a Shadab, all of whom can tonk. You needed wickets, they didn't go for wickets.
I'll tell you why, because there is a precedent to this. Okay, when it's coming, especially with Sri Lanka, when it comes to contests against Pakistan, okay, about in 2014, there was the test match in Sharjah. Okay, yeah. Sri Lanka had played absolutely defensively. They thought they'll just eke out a draw and win the series. Pakistan had to get 302 in 60 overs. So what did Matthews and the rest of the team do? Okay, we'll just spread the field. What will happen? They might try to hit out or hole out to the deep and we'll win easily. But what did Pakistan do?
Took singles
and twos, and this is what exactly happened today also. You knew that Shafiq and Riswan were anyway going for the attack. So if he had kept an attacking field, maybe they would have lost in 40 overs. So they thought, okay, we'll spread the field out. Maybe they'll hole out under pressure, which happened by the way with Saud Shakil.
Yeah, but the catch wasn't taken.
The fielders did not back it up. And more importantly, forget this particular...
But to be fair, that they had enough firepower to win from there in their batting.
They had.
Even if the catch had been taken.
Exactly. But the biggest disappointment for Sri Lanka was 8 overs, 44 runs in the end. That was the key difference because...
But I tell you why that I agree that had it been 380, it should have been 380 when Sri Lanka were batting.
Absolutely.
So it was some fine depth bowling by Hassan Ali and Haris Rao. So two of them bowled really well. It's the last 8-9 overs where I think Nawaz also bowled, but Nawaz gave away few runs. But Hassan Ali and Haris Rao were brilliant. In fact, Shaheen Shah Afridi gave away a few runs as well. I think he bowled 2 overs in the death, but gave away a few runs. But Rauf and Hassan Ali, with their bowling, ensured that the gap was, instead of 380, it came down to 340. I agree that particular thing made a difference. But the problem there, that's why I'm going back to the toss. The problem there was also when Sri Lanka is batting, realizing it's a good pitch, you really don't know what is the kind of total you want to say. And this is something that even England was beginning to do with Bangladesh. Trying to go, above par sort of a total. Had Sri Lanka, now benefit of hindsight, probably would have approached that little bit differently, but just didn't happen for them.
See, this again highlights one more problem. You saw in the warm-ups also, Sri Lanka were put on a very good position. Maybe they were 300 for 3. But then against Afghanistan, they lost 7 wickets for 33. Exactly what has happened. They are not able to ensure that their lower middle order contributes. Pakistan, on the other hand, their middle and lower order can contribute. And that is the reason why I am just flabbergasted by the fact that Sri Lanka didn't show intent, and as Shane pointed out, easily they were taking singles and twos. The support staff are there and there is precedence that do not have a spread out field, because Riswan and Shafiq were sensible enough to ensure take ones and twos.
They knew that if they took ones and twos, got the odd 4 here or there, then quite frankly all that would in fact have happened was that they'd get to that point where the asking rate would come at or under 6. And that's exactly what happened. But again, I think this brings me back to another point, and I remember raising it earlier, and I said if you won the toss, I think at this point, a lot of teams have figured out that batting is going to ease out under lights.
Did not see the, again, different venues, but not see the India-Australia match. Australia made such a blunder, which now they're regretting. You're hearing it from Maxwell and so on and so forth, saying that we should have,
bowled.
Because it's tougher to bowl with the dew. The ball was really not coming in. Also, if you see the fast bowlers, you know what also happens with the dew, we keep talking about the spinners, but even for the fast bowlers, the swing only lasts at 8-10 overs. That's exactly what happened. Because when the ball gets wet, then the ball stops moving. So the same thing had they been bowling during the day, that would have lasted much longer. Wouldn't have been easy, even, let's say if India were in a similar situation, wouldn't have been easy for even Virat Kohli and KL Rahul to survive another 7-8 overs.
True.
Good chance you would have picked up more wickets. But because you were bowling with the dew there, the swing vanished after 7-8 overs. The spinners were finding it tough. So big blunder they made. Okay, I agree that the dew here wouldn't have been much. But the fact that the pitch gets slightly better to bat on second half, that is something I should know. Also, the other thing is, nobody is really now getting to know what the par total is in each ground, because different strips are offering you completely different things. So all the more it makes sense that you're chasing. Today you had no idea, and I'm guessing, see, what may have fooled Sri Lanka, you've seen 2 games in Hyderabad before this. You're saying turning track, up, spinners will put pressure later on. Batting is not Pakistan's strength, so let's just put up any total and then they'll panic. But it just got easy for batting, and the spinners, because of conditions getting better, weren't that effective.
But again, there also I'll go back to another point. You're right about the fact that conditions are changing. We've seen 2 pitches in the official competition so far. The first one, which was, I think, Pakistan Netherlands, which spun a lot. Then New Zealand Netherlands, which spun less, but was still gripping.
No, it was spinning,
but still spinning.
Yeah.
However, in Pakistan's first warm-up game, they had a pitch that was an absolute road. That's the pitch you got today.
Even in the second warm-up.
Yes. You need to actually be keeping that eye, because you have, I think, 6 different strips per ground. You could be getting anything. In fact, as you see, it's changing. The nature of the pitch is changing from pitch to pitch in the same ground.
So they got a bit of a warm-up as to what to expect in Ahmedabad. I'm guessing you will get a batting-friendly pitch in Ahmedabad. But the only difference would be they chase this down against the Sri Lankan bowling
which
lineup.
Is not that.
They can't do that against an Indian bowling lineup. Because India will have wicket takers at every stage.
True.
Yeah.
At every stage. That was a problem, and I think the biggest problem for Sri Lanka has been Pathirana's form. What is surprising is Asia Cup, he was pretty good. Till Asia Cup, we were just discussing, oh my God, he's Malinga, and probably even tougher because the ball is coming from much lower angle, and all of that discussion is happening. Even talks about how much he's matured playing for Chennai Super Kings under Dhoni. See that all, and boom, 2 games.
And he's been found out, and I think the major problem, accuracy.
No, he's not been found out. I think the problem is that he himself has been bowling terribly. See, there's no control.
If you compare even the South Africa and this particular bowling performance, more than the runs he's conceded. Check out the number of extras that he's conceded.
Today at what, 20?
Today he bowled 20 wides.
It's terrible.
20, close to 20 wides. And even in the South Africa game, I'm pretty sure, because he couldn't even control the direction. What was the best part about Malinga? Accuracy. Consistently. Here, despite a lower action, he is landing it halfway outside of the pitch. Luckily, it was not signaled.
I was surprised it wasn't.
Yeah. That is the problem. His accuracy, if it lets him down, then he's gone. He's mentally shot. Even in Chennai Super Kings, by the way, you needed the others to ensure you give him a significant buffer. Otherwise, in the one game where he had to defend 10, it didn't happen. Because Sikandar Raza got them over the line, 200. Punjab Kings versus Chennai Super Kings, remember? Pathirana needs to ensure his direction is proper. If that is not there, he can't be the next Malinga.
And also, I think one thing I've noticed with him is he's very much a rhythm bowler.
Yes.
Because in the IPL also, early days in this year only, because he was playing from the start, there were some matches where he's kind of going early on. Then I think when he got a consistent run of games and I think defined role, you saw that the accuracy was there. Now suddenly his form has dropped off a cliff. He needs to respond, and now it's not just a case of 4 overs.
It's
10 overs. You're expected to be the lead pacer of this team.
And the breakdown in his confidence and rhythm started with Riswan. Why? Pathirana's one strength is he bowls straight at the stumps. What did Riswan do? Drive him straight down the ground every single time.
Correct.
And he couldn't control the flow of runs. And that is where his confidence, he needs 4 or 5 good balls. Then he gets into that rhythm. But if you throw him off gear, and again, what was the major difference? Left hand, right hand. Shafiq and Riswan. Now adjusting to those lengths, and every single time, if his straight ball isn't working, his other deliveries won't work as well. That's Pathirana for you.
Outstanding knock. But I think the biggest learning, I think Shane also mentioned it earlier, the biggest learning that I've had from this game, apart from the fact that Pakistan has shown us that, their comfort zone is not quite what we thought it was.
Yes.
But the biggest learning is that you can actually play safe cricket, a runner ball cricket, and chase down 350.
Yep.
So the way we look at ODI cricket needs to change, because earlier the general impression was that if you played safe runner ball cricket, 280 was the chaseable total. Anything you went past 320 would be, you have to now be adventurous, you have to play aggressive cricket. Just go back, that's what I'm saying. See the change. Go back 10 years and ODIs were, anytime a team got 320, you used to be so worried. You used to say, now if you're supporting a team that's chasing, they have to have a good start, they have to get some 100 runs of the first 12, 15. If you're not getting that, there's no chance you're chasing it. That sort of talk used to happen. You have to do this, all of that has to come together. Now you're actually saying 350, no problem, play regular cricket, don't panic. Don't panic, just go play regular runner ball, safe, calculated cricket. We're chasing 350.
Exactly.
It's only when you're now good. I'm just saying that benchmark has changed so drastically. Now I think when you that 320, which would send shivers down the spine of a chasing side, I think it's gone to 400 now. Now if it's 400, then I think you will say, oh, it's a big total. You have to have a ballistic start where you get some 100 runs in 10 overs without losing a wicket. All of that might come in. 350 now you're going to be like, no problem, just play calculated cricket. Guys, each of you take your time, don't lose your wicket, spend time on the crease, we'll chase it. That's the biggest change that is happening in ODI cricket and how we used to view ODI cricket. And I think this game is a perfect example. That's what I said. How you view it. Nothing extraordinary. Usually what happens with big total, you'd have to have a guy
with a 150 strike rate.
Yeah, like who would have got you 120 of 75 balls. That sort of a thing. Wow, he's the game changer. This guy came in, they were in a bit of a soup, he just changed the game. But hey, none of that happened.
Look at it, 109 and 108. That's it.
Done.
Percentage safe cricket. And that is the reason why Pakistan, they did it against Australia also. Remember that ODI series in 2022?
Yeah,
but again, we gave them that thing, even that Misbah-ul Haq, Wasim Akram and Waqar Yunus had pointed out in one of the shows. That was a Australia B or C bowling lineup. That is the reason why they could chase 350. But this Sri Lanka bowling attack was almost close to the Asia Cup side that was there. It was the same. Except for Madhushanka. Except for Madhushanka, the rest of the bowling was the same.
Who bowled really well. So anyway, it made the attack better.
Actually. It made the attack, 2 for 60, 6.4 and even Thikshana, look at it, 1 for 59.
He gave you what you expected.
Yes. Yeah. But your biggest letdown was Pathirana and also Vellalage.
Yeah, actually, Vellalage, in terms of not giving too many runs, but you expected more wickets from him.
Exactly.
But maybe it wasn't doing so much. That's what
it wasn't at all. You are third and fourth spinners combined to give you 46 runs.
In 5 overs.
And 5 overs, and you add that 15 overs for 108. 7 per over in a chase of 345, which is less than 7. Big difference maker was.
What that does is, and as an Indian fan, I'm happy with the result. I'll tell you why. Because now I would have anyway been excited about India-Pakistan. Now I'm even more excited. Because I'll tell you, honestly saying, had Pakistan lost this badly, then that India-Pakistan game would have lost the edge. You would have said, yeah, it's a game, but India far superior. This Pakistan just got hammered. They were like in a precarious position against Netherlands. Somehow managed to win. Now they've lost to Sri Lanka. It's going to be a one-sided contest. Now, after this chase, it gives Pakistan a lot of confidence. They go in. India very high on confidence after that win versus Australia. In fact, many picking India now as kind of favorites to win. Now it sets up that India-Pakistan game very nicely. So if the interest, I agree, any India-Pakistan game, as I saw in the Asia Cup, the interest peaks. But this is going to take it to the next level.
I mean, look,
it will be one of the biggest games that you'd watched in the last few years.
Any India-Pakistan World Cup game for that matter. Because
but now even more so.
Because you remember, even in the 90s, we would be scared. Okay, what is the trend with Pakistan? They start poorly, but somehow they peak towards the end. But because they had that team, that batting lineup and that bowling lineup was next level intimidation. It dipped after 2003. 11, because of the occasion, we are playing Pakistan in the semi-final of a World Cup. That was nerves. 15 was one-sided, 19 was one-sided. And this was that Pakistan team which didn't do well even in the starting point also. Here, now with 2 wins, that too in contrasting styles. With an Indian team which are coming off the ultimate of highs, beating Australia. Because whenever India have beaten Australia, their tournament often becomes very, very good. 1987 is an example. They beat Australia in Delhi. They reached the semis. Even you look at 2019, had that collapse not happened in the semi-final, everybody was preparing for Lords. That is why 11, you won the quarter-final. That was the belief
set up
that
your
gave
tournament.
Yeah, what this result does is, and especially the way Pakistan as well, suddenly what had happened, that in the conversation of the top 4, nobody was mentioning Pakistan.
Not even us.
Nobody. So you were only talking New Zealand, India, England, Australia, pretty much everyone. And maybe some people would have still said South Africa. But that was it. People had conveniently forgotten Pakistan. But I think what this result has done is, just shook up everyone and reminded them, Pakistan, that we're here. Before the tournament, much before, not now, few months before the tournament, many were picking Pakistan in the top 4. We went to the Asia Cup, seeing our performance. All of you just forgot about us. Completely, pushed us out. Not even top 4, but even top 5. Now I think in conversations, they're going to come back.
Although they have got problems. They are bowling. It's not going to happen every single day.
Yeah, but this kind of a track you won't get. I mean, helpful conditions. All I'm saying is, Shaheen Afridi, Haris Rauf won't have such today also, as I said. We did point out about the fact that Haris did help them come back. So did Hassan Ali. They're not always going to be as listless as they were today.
But you're going to get 7 out of 10 pitches like this, and every day the batting against a better bowling lineup.
Could be. I agree. Which is why I would, if you ask me, I'd still pick India the favourite. No doubt.
But again, look at it this way. Pakistan, you need to win if out of 9 games.
You need to win at least 6 or 7.
They already won 2.
They're already 3.3% there.
Yep. But as I said, if they win against India on October 14th, then you can seriously believe that they'll be a top 4 contender.
The thing with them is, I don't believe they'll be a top 4 contender, but count them out at your own peril. Really.
They're pretty much there as a top 4 contender. If they beat India, you got 3 wins. You're looking for what? 3 more?
Yeah,
3 more.
3 more out of 6.
And 1 is against Bangladesh.
They might fancy their chances.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Although Afghanistan will be in Chennai, so.
No, but I'm just saying that fancy their chances.
Yeah.
You'd all pick them as favorites.
They always do.
So that's 2.
They always do well against New Zealand. So that's 7.
Then there's just one game between
England, South Africa, and they do well against South Africa
and New
also
Zealand.
nowadays.
So, but I'm saying one game out of those 3 that you'd think that they'd win.
See, they've got 3 potential wins.
Yeah.
Afghanistan, South Africa, and New Zealand. Pakistan. If you look at it, because they've always had the wood over them in the past decade or so.
But I think we're getting ahead of
I know.
For them to beat India.
Oh, it will need something
Yeah.
even bigger than Kudrat ka Nizam.
No, I mean, it's not that big a gap, but India clearly the favorite.
There is a baggage of history.
No, I agree all of that. And India's not clearly the favorite. No denying it. But it's not as if like
In
some
Ahmedabad.
miracle. It won't be a miracle.
No, but now really Ahmedabad doesn't give you that much confidence because you'll get this pitch only.
I mean, Pakistan are doing Pakistan things, confounding people. Every
Let's
single
see some
day.
comments. Let's see what people have to say.
Yeah.
They agree, disagree.
From Swal.
Yep.
Swal.
Rookie Techie is like saying they dropped Abdullah Shafiq catch when he was 20 something. Of course, Lairu Kumara should have played. That's the word. Why are they not playing Lahiru Kumara that often? Skiddy bowler can actually get that pace up to 140, 145. Better guy under control, get him instead of Pathirana. If Pathirana is short of confidence, if you need him for a crunch game, get him at that time. I don't know why. Tanmay Joshi, to be honest, even India and Pakistan have same style of chasing. Maybe India a little more aggressive. 350 chase now with only 5 sixes.
Exactly. They weren't hitting sixes.
Ones and twos, that's the key.
Ones, twos, the odd 4, and as he says, only 5 sixes.
Yep. Hari from the US is saying, MS Dhoni said, Matheesha Pathirana should be preserved and used for shorter T20 formats only. MP bowled 3 extra overs, 90 runs at 10 runs per over and is the prime cause of SL loss. Although there are 2 other reasons, Hari. 8 overs for 44. I'm sorry, you needed a much better end. And then dropping Saud Shakil and getting 20-30 runs extra. That was the thing. And that too, who dropped him? Dushant Hemanta, who had taken a brilliant catch to dismiss. Oh, that's how the game is. It's so fickle at this point in time. Okay, what are the...
But the point, he talks about T20. We also saw with Malinga, his most preferred format was T20. Maybe there is a point there with the kind of action that you have. That suited. But the only thing I'll say is so young that right now, fine test cricket, maybe he doesn't want to go that way, but at least got to play ODI for a few years.
I mean, Naveen ul Haq.
Yeah.
24 years old, retiring from ODIs.
Yeah, but exactly as I'm saying that.
See, Malinga was already playing with a degenerative knee condition. So whatever matches you could get out of him in ODIs and tests, it was a lottery. By 2010, it was enough. He said, I just can't take it. That's why he could play until 2019. By 2019 World Cup, he was done, Lasin Malinga. So, William Salibek is saying, I don't understand
Read the full thing, please. It's William Salibek with the Community Shield. He's an Arsenal fan.
Oh.
They won the Community Shield by beating City.
Yeah.
It's a funny name.
I don't understand the hype. Pakistan have defeated the 2 teams that came into the World Cup through qualifiers and are clearly the weakest teams in the tournament.
But you're still beating them, yeah? You can't take anything
Although
away
I don't
from
disagree
them.
with that.
No, he's not entirely wrong.
But is Sri Lanka the weakest team?
Nah, I mean, they made it to the Asia Cup final.
Yeah.
But yeah, their performance there even put a minnow
50 all out. I mean, come on.
That's what even Sharan saying now, 50-50.
But it's always, I say one is, okay, the team that you've beaten, and again, Sri Lanka are no pushovers, as you just said. The other thing in the manner. So it's not always sometimes the team that you've beaten, in the manner. If you chase this down, you take in a lot of confidence going forward.
Absolutely.
Okay, you replace Pakistan with India, and let's say if you're analyzing the India game versus Sri Lanka, we're also expected India to have won. But if they won in this exact same manner, where Sri Lanka put up a 345, 46 sort of a total, and India then chased it down in this fashion, won't we say, and won't the team take a lot of confidence from that?
Absolutely.
So I think we have the same yardstick. Nobody is really saying right now Pakistan is the favorite. All I said is that they were conveniently being ignored as the top 4. In fact, no one even talking in the top 5th. Dark horse category also. Suddenly they've just reminded you that hello, we're there, and you thought that one of our weaknesses was that we can't chase big total. We've done it. Pressure game, World Cup game against Sri Lanka, and truth be told, we were sitting here in the meetings. How many of us gave Pakistan a chance? Not much.
No, he changed his prediction.
I changed my prediction.
No, I also didn't. I said Sri Lanka were winning from the start.
No. You only backed them.
I was the one who said that outside chance.
Outside chance. I'm saying exactly because we spoke about it. But so credit where credit
has to be given.
Phenomenal batting. I mean, Sharan is saying, hi guys, do you think after this game, Ind versus Pak, both teams start 50-50? I think so. What do you guys think? And I was at the ground. There was no dew actually.
That's
very
all.
minimal.
There was two things that Justin Shanaka misread. One was the nature of the pitch and the impact of the dew. There was no dew.
I think he didn't misread the dew. I think his lower order batting just did not finish off.
No, and I think
also the spinners.
He misread the pitch.
Yeah.
He thought, 2 matches we've seen spinners get assistant, so we'll go in, let the pitch deteriorate, and then the spinners will have an impact. But spinners didn't have an impact at all. Only one wicket. Only one wicket.
But I don't think it's still a 50-50 contest. I still think India starts as a clear favorite.
Yeah.
I'd go 60-40, maybe even 65-35, sort of I'd give India that much more edge.
Yes. So Rookie Tech is saying, guys, 350 chase would not happen versus top teams was good middle overs bowling. They won because of extras and inexperienced bowling.
But that's exactly what we pointed out.
Yep.
We said, take this situation and instead of Sri Lanka, put the Indian team in, and if they've got 340, they're not going to allow Pakistan to chase that down. If they do, that's going to be a humongous effort if they chase it down. That would be, closer to a miracle as you're talking about. Once India puts that total and allows Pakistan to chase out, because for India at different stages you will have wicket takers, so it won't be that easy. This is something we mentioned earlier also, completely.
Exactly. So that's why, look, the pedigree of the bowling and the spinning pedigree that's there in the other teams, you have to admit it's far, far better than Sri Lanka.
And far better than Pakistan also. Pakistan spinners
This Sri Lankan attack would have been dangerous had you got the Hyderabad pitch we saw for the previous
Correct.
game. That particular pitch, because they need assistance, right? We saw that in that game in Colombo between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. A spin that was assisting the spinners, then even part-timers came into play. Then you could look at, they need that. Once that wasn't on offer, you knew that, okay, Tikshana would do well because he doesn't really rely on the pitch that much. He'll look at variations, the mystery spinner that he is. But everyone else needed that. Once you didn't have it, not going to happen.
Correct.
Final question.
Yeah, freaking awesome was saying, genuine cricket fans see only games in the cricketing point of view. When you see it through a different glass, then you can't take it no matter whatever they do. I didn't
get him at all.
It's a googly. Unlike what the Sri Lankan spinners bowled.
Fit Monk, which I just pointed out. Says Riswan's batting and acting both were top class tonight. But by the way, Riswan spoke about it later, where he said that I was actually getting cramps and they were getting better sometime and then worse. I don't know. That's why I said most of the time when you even get cramps,
not like it goes away instantly.
Unless you're Graham Smith. Because Graham Smith got a cramp in that 2009 Champions Trophy. He was refused a runner. Because Strauss said, you can't get a runner for cramps, and never went off. Despite taking salts, despite taking hydration.
No, it doesn't go. It doesn't go sometimes. Cramps don't go. And even if they go, so you have it, okay, if it goes away, then it goes away. It can't keep coming, going. I don't know.
Riswan, Miraj Rule is saying, why openers in ODIs are now very cautious for first 10 overs? From 1996 till 2012, we used to see them smacking and target 100 runs in first 15 overs. Views?
Because nowadays the field restrictions have made it to a point where it's much easier to score even in the middle overs. Back then, the middle overs really was the time to apply the choke. So first 15, you'd really have to go for the kill. Now it doesn't really matter. You can actually get those runs at any time in the
4 to 5 now it's helped even in the middle overs also.
Exactly.
So, and of course also certain bit the caliber of batters. There's no Sehwag at the top. Jayasuriya, great batch. All those guys who could just exploit.
What Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow were doing what exactly in the last World Cup?
Even Rohit Sharma.
Rohit Sharma.
But I'm just saying that really you don't need to. I think that's
the need is
Warner.
Now you don't need to. What you've realized is that the toughest phase now in that sense to score runs are the last 10. Because that is the time where you're allowed 5 fielders outside, right? So at that time you really need it. So what you are doing is that you have the power play, the first bit, which is where you can score runs. Then even the middle overs is pretty good, right? You have to have 5 fielders inside, so only 4 outside, which allows you to get. It's only in the last few overs when that extra fielder goes out, when it becomes the toughest. So you're saying, let me preserve wickets and then use that, because that's where you'll have to take risks towards the last. So then let me do it that way. Earlier, because the only golden opportunity was right on top, so you said let's go with it and then we'll consolidate later.
Also another thing is nowadays every team normally packs their lower middle order with power hitters.
The T20 effect.
Yes, back then having someone like a Michael Bevan was a godsend, manna from heaven. But now every team has 2-3 power hitters.
All of those, even a Dhoni, a Yuvraj, could finish games. Raina, absolutely.
So
they were the exceptions. Now they're the norm.
Yeah. Oof. Michael Bevan, man,
love that guy.
That stoked up a lot of memories. Oof.
Okay, Reggie Raju has a question. Let's take that.
Yeah. It's gone.
No problem.
I'll find it. Yeah.
Win today will give Pakistan some confidence against India, and if Gill is not available, will add up some pressure on Rohit to attack their pacers, considering Ishan is a little bit shaky against the new ball. But only one match here.
No, Ishan's always been shaky against the new ball.
Maybe now, see, after those 3 consecutive...
And against spin.
4 consecutive 50s, I think
And
it's been
against
dispelled. It's been dispelled.
But whatever said and done, Ishan's going to play.
He will.
I don't
He will,
think
of course,
that-
he'll play.
Yeah.
That's not changing now. Most likely Shubman's not going to be there for the Pakistan game.
game. Yeah.
So you will have to, I don't think they'll make too many changes suddenly.
Yeah.
They will give him a few options. I mean, if God forbid he does not have 2 great outings again versus Afghanistan, Pakistan, then they may be tempted to look at something else. And for all you know, by that time, maybe Shubman's available. If not, for a game or 2, you could look at shuffling. I said earlier, you could look at an option of sending KL, or you could look at an option of having Virat, Rohit open, and everyone else then moves up a table,
Sky.
and Sky comes in.
Correct.
So I think they can look at various options, but it's too early. I think the next 2 games Ishan's going to play.
The Prince is losing out on his main turf in Ahmedabad. What a phenomenal record he has, Shubman Gill.
He does,
Yeah. Potentially, though, nothing
There could
confirmed
be
yet.
2 stars. Shami, highest wicket taker for that
course.
team, could also miss out.
Yeah.
Could also
Imagine.
miss out.
Yes.
So both the highest run getter, highest wicket taker
For that-
team
Yeah.
play in that
Neither
home
are
game. may not be played.
One enforced, one by choice.
Yeah.
Yep, indeed.
Quite possible.
No Mirage rules. Upset is not loading tomorrow. No. No way.
For that, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
If
bye.
you're joining us now, check out the start of the video. Plenty discussed. It's Afghanistan, India tomorrow, and we'll be live at 1 o'clock.
Yep, sir.
As always, building up to that game, and 1:30 will be the toss. So all the latest updates. We'll have analysis as well. Special surprise: Robin Uthappa is going to be joining us tomorrow,
Wow.
so you'll get to hear his views as well on Sports Today.
Robbie.
Right. So
Indeed. Bye bye. From me, me, Nikhil, and Shane, it's going to be a super match tomorrow.
yep.
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam. Yes.